Good evening. How are you all? Hope you're all well. Thanks very much for coming over and joining us. Excuse me. Let's bring in the chaps. Here they all are. Unmute yourselves, guys.
I'm unmuted.
Brian's not.
Quiet.
Hello.
I'm just quiet.
Brian's
Evening,
not
everybody.
unmuted.
Brian can stay muted because nobody wants to talk to him.
I muted myself. Somebody else muted me. Who did that? Who muted Mike?
Not doing me, mate. I'd love to have muted you, but
That'll be that Steve one again, I bet.
No, I wouldn't do that to you, Brian. How
Yes,
would I
you
do
would.
that?
I know you would.
Anyway, welcome everyone. Hope you're all well. Podcast. We ain't done for what? This is the first one of the year. We ain't done one yet this year. So.
No, thank God.
see how keen Brian is, can you, everybody?
Yeah, you can see how keen Brian is. We had to drag him in, kicking and streaming.
I thought we should have done it. We should have done it last night, really.
I'm not feeling well.
You know, if we'd
You're
done it
not
last
what?
night,
You're not feeling
Brian
well?
wouldn't have gone live. Would have been all right.
What do you mean Brian wouldn't have gone live?
Then he
Stop
wouldn't
me.
have broken. He wouldn't have broken the pot he was using to making. So
If nobody's seen it, go over and check Brian's Heartwood Turnings video from last night or live from last night.
he broke the pot.
Apparently,
Everybody
it's a
that is
cracking video.
Everybody that's in this chat has already seen it, so you can stop it now. It's fine. You just quit.
So anyway, guys, I hope you've brought your questions.
Oh, I'm thought one yet.
One of us has brought a question.
That'll do for a start. We'll get them
We've
going.
only been doing the podcast. What, this is the 7th episode, and you know,
What is it?
You know, the same routine every single
I
time.
forgot about
and,
that. Oh, I've got to think of it.
Anyway.
first.
Episodes of this rubbish.
And people still come back. That's the thing.
I don't know.
Anyway, as you can see, we've got Rob sitting here from Klingspor.
I don't know why Rob's here. I mean, what?
Rob's
I
gonna
have no
tell us-
idea what I'm doing
Rob's
here.
gonna talk
He's here
us
to
all
answer
through-
questions.
He's going to talk us all the way through how abrasives are made tonight.
Yeah,
Rob's face, look at
14
Rob's
just-
face.
Hey,
Look at Rob's
4.6 hours long, but you
I
know,
always want to know
Rampage.
how they got the sharp gritty stuff stuck to the back paper. I always want to
Glue.
know that.
I want to know how they interview the person who counts the grits on the paper.
not that I'm
AI.
saying too much. Of Brian's boring, but Terry Bartlett's just
What?
put in the
Terry
chat.
Bartlett.
We'll have to
Gotta
watch
come to-
Brian's again because I fell asleep last night.
I'm coming down to South England to give you a good
2 minutes,
Terry
look, and he's gone.
I can
Yeah,
give you
my
a
toe.
brief overview of how they stick abrasives to the back end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Not
that's
a
my
problem.
question. How did they
Jeez.
stick
Anyway.
bruises for the back end? See, you
Anyway,
got all technical there.
we'll explore that in a minute. We'll
Hey,
explore that in
straight
a
in
minute.
there. How do you stick the abrasive to the backing? I said
We'll tell you all about it in a minute.
The sharp gritty stuff to the paper.
We'll
That's
tell
it.
you all about it in a minute.
In a minute. 12 days from today.
Well, anyway,
Good evening, everybody. Anyway,
yeah.
Just
Terry's
let
going to
you
welcome
know,
everybody in.
Stephen, there's Alan Gibb came in first. He was really
Yeah,
early. He probably hadn't thought of a question, but he was really early. Followed by Norman Greenwell and Terry Bartlett slid in as usual.
Slid in. He weren't
Vinnie Charlton's there. Todd at Glen Cove Woodworks just turned up. Malcolm Douglas is in. Always interesting to hear Malcolm. William Kenny's there as well for the Irish contingent. Robert Bortwood's joined us as well. Frederick Day's there. Helen Jenkins there. Roy's the boy is not late today. He's there.
Well,
And there's about 15 lurking in the background
There is 33
so
watching.
far. Good evening, everybody. Welcome aboard. Hope
Well, if
you
you
enjoy
are
the night.
lurking-
If you don't, won't see you next time.
Don't be hiding in the background. Get in
If you're
here.
lurking in the background, step forward and put your name in the
Yeah,
chat.
put your name there.
Welcome you in.
Just so we can take a mick at you. Use your free.
Yeah.
Wayne, the
Hello,
word turns
Wayne.
in. Evening,
Hello,
Wayne.
Hope you're well,
Wayne.
buddy.
Anyway,
So
Right.
the we're going to do a few questions, and then we're going to
All right.
yeah, you're going to Brian. No, I'm joking. And then
Rob's up here.
obviously
I'm
Yeah.
on top.
no,
Peter
wrong way.
Careless has just joined us. Hello, Peter. Roger Kent's in.
Oh,
Roger,
Frederick.
yeah.
Oh, well, Frederick's got a
everybody.
question for
Welcome.
us, Lick. Frederick's got a question.
What's the one thing you would charge, James,
Change.
sorry, in the Wood Turning World if you could, and what don't you like about it?
Oh, that's. I'll have to
I
think.
would the thing I would change would be people's vision of wood turning. So rather than calling it a craft, I'd like to see it called as an art.
It is an
So
art.
then, yeah, it is an art, but people call it as a craft, don't they? So
They sell it.
then we
Crap.
wouldn't have this issue of things being underpriced and all this, that, and the other. That's part of my thing. That's what I'd like.
Haley Wooden Burrows join us. Hello, Haley.
Hi,
Yeah,
Haley.
that's it. It's an art, but it's a
art
craft
form.
thing, you know. You make things, so that's a craft. Like you sew things, that's a craft, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
And you make pottery, that's a craft.
Definitely.
As soon as you mention the word craft, people think that's cheap.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, they want to think it's cheap. They don't in America,
I
of
don't
course.
know.
Paul Norfolk Hunter's just joined us. So is
Stephen Paul.
Lewis, the Klondike
hi.
Craftsman's joined us as
guys.
well.
Well, it is.
Welcome.
I'm welcoming in because they're all sort of late, you know, or not late, but
Yeah,
they're
slept in
darkers,
as usual.
darkers in
Just
there,
like-
you know.
As soon as you
Forget
mention the word craft, it conjures up a vision of somebody in their back bedroom making
Yeah.
socks or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it.
But,
It
yeah, hell of a
certainly
job. Yeah. Some people do turn in the back bedroom. Of course, they shouldn't, but, you know.
I wanted to, Michelle wouldn't allow it.
I have
Yeah.
to, because if not, I won't get out the door because I'm facing the wrong way.
I don't really want to turn in the house at all. I've got
I-
a chance
I
to
had
then
a s-
get away and get out, you know.
had a lovely spare room there. It would have done fine.
Out of sight, out of mind. Trouble is on Sundays and out of sight, am I? That's a problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she can watch.
I've been here 2.5 years, right, Mum? I gave the neighbour some scrap wood for his wood burner from my allotment. I was making the what's the name, staging, and I took it over to him, and I said, "There's a big bag in the back here. I can't, full of the old scrap wood from the wood turning cut-offs." I said, "I can't lift it because I'm not allowed to lift anything." "I'll pop over," he said. He came over. He said, "It's the first time I've seen it here." I said, "Yeah. Well, what do you think?" He said, "Well, never knew it was like this. Crumbs, look at it. It's like an Aladdin's cave." So one of my questions would be, if you had to buy something and money was unlimited, you only got a choice of one thing, what would that thing be?
Freedom.
Simple.
Cleanspore abrasives.
Yeah. It could, yeah, Wayne, it could be called arts and crafts, like the arts and crafts movement.
Yeah,
That would be good. Actually, that would be good because that would denote all of it, wouldn't it? The arts and crafts movement. Of course, the arts and crafts movement demonstrated that it was a certain product made in certain ways, and like special feet on the on the cabinets and things like that. So it was the arts and craft products, whereas really it should be arts and craft returning. You know.
Frederick Dale would change people's perspective of wood turning, and I would promote more heavily on it is current being done.
Evening, Kate. Kate Kitchens just joined us.
Right, Kate, how you
It was
doing?
you, ma'am.
I ain't got my hat
Nice
on
to see
tonight.
you.
Sorry, Kate.
Nice to see you there.
Yeah, it's a strange thing. So Terry's question was, if you had unlimited funds, what would be the one item you would buy?
You could only buy one thing.
Has it got to be wood turning orientated, or?
Well, everybody with a new car, I suppose, but yeah, wood turning related, really, or the arts and craft related.
Okay.
That's what we're going to call it now, arts and craft. Okay.
I don't know, Terry. I've got everything. I think.
Yeah, I agree with there, Wayne. It is still the fastest growing craft at the moment. It's
Oh, but
going
is it?
mental. It is. There's clubs are absolutely doing mad lately.
Going mad. Can I just?
How's your club doing, Steve? You
Doing
being the
very well.
chairman, you'll get off facts and figures at the tip of your.
Yeah, we've got
Obviously,
55
You're
members.
growing.
Yeah, 55 members now. So
when you
good.
started, you had about 11, didn't you? Something like that.
18 there was with me.
18.
So, that
I knew
one,
it wasn't
don't
many.
get me wrong. It's nothing to do with me. That's just, promoting it and pushing it out there. Good evening, Pete. Pete Twisted Trees has joined us.
Evening,
You're
Pete.
getting more. You're getting more people in. That's the. And
Yeah,
your club's quite
Lewis
big as
would
well,
s-
Terry, isn't it?
Lewis would say a very good bandsaw mill. So he's talking about
Yeah.
a resaw, something the size of a 3-inch width blade.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. And a trolley that slides along and back and forth with trunks of trees on, if you've got that much room, of course. Yeah, Christina Michael are in. Good evening, Christina Michael.
Good evening.
Roger Kent says an easy wood chuck. Well, Brian's
I'm not
got it, so
I'm not that
like you
expensive.
say,
So Frederick's put this in.
Yeah, but not that expensive.
So Frederick's put this. Frederick's put, I feel that councils and some authorities do not do enough to promote and use and help sustain the skills. It's not really down to the council, though, is it?
No.
Down to us.
It's down to
Us, clubs,
The other issue, of
AWP,
course,
Worship Wood Company of Turners, everything.
It's been said a few times that people have said, like, promote and make the hobby, craft, art, whatever you want to call it, grow. How do you promote to people who work in sheds and garages? It's not like, it's a phone.
Yeah,
it's easy. If you're promoting a car, it's easy. Without having a very expensive TV ad for wood turning, how do you promote to those guys that don't?
True.
Is it just purely social media? How do you promote to them?
So
Well, it'll have to be social media because unless it's the news, something like BBC News, ITV News, or whatever, you get it as a. I mean, they did have Nathaniel Griffiths as an example. They did have this special woodworker, didn't they? And he won it as a wood turner, and he won it on the Channel 4, I think it was, which helped to promote the art.
I must have I've never seen that.
Is there people out there? Me and Steve were talking about it yesterday about learning 3D, and people buy a 3D printer and they don't wonder why after day 2 it doesn't work. If I seen, I wasn't involved with it, I seen one of you guys or somebody turn a wooden bowl and thinking, I want to get into that. Is there people on YouTube? It's like from day one, it's a beginner. This is a block of wood. This is a lathe. Is there people out there teaching completely new beginners who have never touched it, never seen it before, just want to have a play with it?
Most of the people who come to me for lessons are people who have never touched a lathe before, and they want to have a go before they make the commitment to make the investment.
Yeah, and most wood turning clubs, have a like an hands-on night where new people can come along and have a try, even if they've never turned before in their life. The AWGB course does a tutor's course for people that want to teach basic wood turning in their clubs or wherever, and then they get a certificate and a badge, and then they can teach newbies. I mean, my particular club has 5 lathes out once a month. We got 5 lathes, sometimes 6, and there's people there just teaching new beginners. And new beginners, I'm talking 10 a month we've had joined.
Sorry, Rob?
Colleges do night school for this type of stuff?
No.
I'm not sure if they do.
There's no recognised qualification for wood turning.
Yeah,
not so much
just put a comment in that, Steve.
A lot of schools stopped it many years ago.
Yeah.
Colleges have stopped
because of health and safety.
Yeah.
That's what
nobody in their right mind is going to stick a sharp object in a machine that's spinning 2,000 RPM.
Oh yes,
if you really look at common sense. So yeah, I can see what they're saying. Anyway, Alan,
go
on. Sorry.
I was just going to say, welcome into Simon Mason Gabs today. Nigel Harvey and Dancing with Arvarks Mike has joined us.
Welcome, guys. Thanks for coming over and joining us. So, Alan Gibbert, I have a no.
Not bad. I think you mean not bad.
Yeah, not bad setup in my garage for turning. But for a new turner, what would be a must for them?
First thing you get is a sharpening system. Second thing you get is a lathe. Third thing you get is a set of tools. And then you get the wording, off you go. Because you need to be able to sharpen before you can use it.
I always tell people, work out what you can afford, because not everybody's budget is big. So work out what you can afford. And out of that, buy your tools and your sharpening system. Whatever you've got left, then buy a lathe. Whether it be a second-hand one or whatever.
Wouldn't one of the first things be something to protect your lungs?
Well, there's no point if you ain't got a lathe to turn, is there?
No, you got to sharpen the tools before you can use them. You need a lathe to turn it, and you need wood to turn. Well, yeah, obviously you'd buy a mask. Even the minimum 3M ones, they're not very expensive. Yeah, to turn.
Buy a pack of them for 20 quid, can't you?
And you just carry on, but you obviously progress. Really, first thing you need to do is join a club, get some turning experience.
Have a go.
Get shown. Yeah. If you don't like it, then you don't have to spend out the money. If you do like it, then you don't have to sell me the second-hand stuff for half price.
I understand that in England there are lots of clubs.
There are.
You have lots of clubs down around Lincolnshire and Norfolk and stuff.
Yeah,
there's loads. There are in Ireland. There are very, very few.
This is a look at this. No, this ain't gonna happen, is it? I think everybody would refuse to pay the TV license if that happened.
Yeah,
might be worth a try.
I'll just go to the BBC.
Good evening, Martin.
I'll just go to the BBC and ask.
And Frederick says, why can't councils provide suitable premises instead of clubs hunting high and low to find them?
Just the cost, mate.
Usually find it.
Yeah, well,
because
again, it's a cost issue.
because Lincolnshire and Yorkshire, South Yorkshire is all sort of, apart from, big towns, Lincoln, Huddersfield, things like that. Most of it's villages. Every village got a village hall, and they rent that village hall out. So the clubs migrate to those village halls. My village hall holds 200 people, right? Not this village. Mine probably would hold about 100. But the village hall I go to, the wood turning club, holds 200 people maximum. We got 160 members at the moment, and 10 are joining every month. We're gonna have to curb it later on. I mean, it's just phenomenal. People want to do wood turning. They can't turn, they've done it. They've heard about it and they want to come along and have a go.
People are intrigued. People are intrigued, and we're the same. Every meeting we get at least 1 or 2 new people coming through the door, and that's
if you are, if you are inexperienced, you want to learn and you've seen it and you like watching us gob on about it and seeing it, us doing a bit of wood turning. Just go on the AWGB website, look for tutors, and you find probably one in every area would give you a lesson for a couple of hours,
Do you think that's stimulated, though? A lot of YouTube videos you see out there now are the 10 things you make on your laser, the 10 things you make on your CNC woodcut, the 10 things you make on your 3D printer to make thousands of pounds, and everybody's trying to jump on that.
You can't do that, though. You can't make thousands of pounds. Well, you
no,
could.
Not with any of those, but it's a big thing on the internet. Every other thing on Facebook is the 10 things to make on a wood lathe, the 10 things to make on a CNC machine.
Yeah.
That will make you thousands in a month.
Fund your hobby and all that kind of stuff.
Yes. So you think that's causing the growth for people to come along and look at it? And
well, it could be, but
well, every month, the Sunday before our club meeting on a Wednesday, every month I promote our club on about 25 to 30 Facebook pages.
Yeah,
and that's what's generated a lot of our. Because, like I said to our members at our AGM the other night, was there might be 53 of us in here, but within a 20-mile radius, there's perhaps another 1,000 wood turners.
Yeah.
Because it is a big hobby. But the trouble is, because it's a solo hobby, people get in their workshops and they get into a routine where they just want to be on their own in their own environment, making some shavings, and they're happy with that. They ain't until they realise that they've got a club 10 minutes down the road or 20 minutes down the road, and that's when it all kicks off.
Yeah. It could be a bit more social aspect to the thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But the other thing, of course,
is a lonely one man in his shed kind of thing.
Yeah, but if you could look at it in another way, not me because I'm retired and I don't have any stress, but somebody like Rob who's under stress all the time, and you workers,
he looks stressed.
The sweat's pouring down their brow when I'm going to earn enough crust to get a cup of tea tomorrow. They get out in that wood shop and they get out in their wood turning or wood working shop, not necessarily just wood turning, and they get out there and they spend a half a day out there and a day off. Takes all the stress away. Their mental health is a lot better just for turning wood to nothing even. Going back in the house in the evening.
But, it goes back to that, but like you said, promoting it, and Steve saying all the Facebook pages. For me, from working for a corporation who's trying to sell sandpaper, it's an impossible market to promote to. Because they are those one-man person in a shed, in their garage, in their workshop. A lot of, or the biggest majority of them are retired. Not that many, of those retired are that active on social media. So even that's difficult to do. If we pick,
but the ones coming up will be, won't they? Because the younger ones are on social media.
Yeah, that's why I said about the colleges and things like that in schools. It's who's going out to get those youngsters interested in it.
I contacted the local.
Won't take it on. Schools won't let you in there. I contacted
the local school because I thought, as a club, let's go and do a demonstration to the youngsters. Bring them, let them know what wood turn's about. This, that, and the other. I emailed 3 schools in our local area. Got a reply back from one, and they basically turned around and said no because it's too dangerous.
I go along to schools to do talks to kids, and some of my distributors do it. There's a person in the council, I'll find out there's like an official title for them, that organizes these things. So they get like welders go along to show them welding, painters and decorators go along, show them, and they do it on quite a regular basis.
All right, okay.
So rather than doing it direct with the schools, it's done through the councils.
That might be worth looking at, because I think that's where we need to be. We need to be bringing the younger generation in.
Yeah, well, we try. Actually, I'll just give you an example. Ruth and I went for lunch to Andy, AGK's in, by the way, good evening, Andy. Went to, what was it called? Belton House. It was a nice little garden centre with a lovely restaurant, and we went for lunch there. And Ruth paid, of course. I mean,
as usual. Yeah.
I was sitting. I went to sit down.
The habit of a lifetime.
I didn't have this T-shirt on, but I had another one with Turner written on it. With Turner written on it, and I sat down to look at the menu, and this chap came over, 18 years old. He said, "You were Turner?" I said, "No," and then I said, "Well, yes, I am really." And he lives near Newark, and I said to him, he said, "I've started with Turner about 6 to 12 months ago." He said, "My mum's bought me a little lathe," and he said, "But I'm inexperienced. I want to know what to do, this, that, and the other." So I did give him the address of our club, but it is quite away from our club. But I said to him, on the 7th and 8th of March, the Newark Woodworking, Midlands Woodworking Show is at Newark. You'll know where that is. Mother can take you along, because I think he was 17 he was. Mother can take you along. You can go to stand 23, which is the AWGB stand. You can walk up to them, have a chat, pick up a membership form, fill it in. It's free to anybody under the age of 21. It's free to join. You get a magazine.
Why am I paying? I mean,
under
20. Well, you got to pay triple because you look
over.
421s for you, Brian. 84, you know. Okay. Or you look at least. Anyway, and he didn't know that, and I said, well, just do it. So I had a word with Mother as well, and she said, no, she'll bring him along. She'll go to the stand. She'll get a membership form and join, because it's free for youngsters under 21.
So it should be free.
Yeah.
So apart from everybody in the chat, because I know all of you are well over that age, it's not that expensive to join either. So, but you can go on the website for free. You don't have to be a member. Go on the website.
That's true.
Look at the tutors. Look at the teachers. If you've got a bit of money, look at the ones that you pay to have lessons with, and you get to do it properly.
Yep. And also, that's what it's saying. It benefits everybody. The more people that you guys get interested in this craft, art, whatever you want to call it, the bigger it gets. Corporations like what I work for get more interested in them and bring more stuff.
They come in like you have, and you think, okay, well, we can help them out. We can, make a bit of money for ourselves, but you can keep the prices reasonable, so we gain.
If the market stays small, the larger corporations don't want to get involved with it. If it grows, they get interested, and then they promote things and they bring new stuff for you guys to to use and have a go with. So it benefits everybody, from the youngsters to the older guys to the suppliers who are supplying you. But it's getting those youngsters to come into there. Keep
coming in, Wayne's just put up. It also, if you are a member of the AWG, you can get free tuition. Well,
a lot of free stuff.
The AWG magazine is so expensive to produce. Well, it's not just the production of it. It doesn't cost as much to produce it. It's the postage, right? It's £12,000 a year. We've reduced it to A5, okay? Now, and it's brilliant, actually.
That's funny.
Everything's in. Yeah, everything's in. Right. So if you just, like Rob like Wayne's just said, well, just look in here. Look, Young Turners program. That's just a Young Turners program there. Okay. Says 15th of April, 6 places for beginners. 31st of May, somebody else, Les Thorne, 6 places. August the 30th. 6 places with Gary Rance, and the 25th of October, Les Thorne again, 6 places. All free. All paid for by us.
But obviously, you've got to make your own way down there. You've obviously got
you've got to make your own way down, and if Mother's going to take you, and its age is up to 16 to 22, I think, or 21. But I'm just looking for other adverts for free. I saw one here. Anybody live near Hartlepool or can get that way? Dennis Wake.
He does quite a lot, doesn't he? Dennis does.
Yeah. And there's another 3 training workshops there for people that can turn, and that's intermediate. So there's a beginner's course with anybody in Scotland. I don't know where Darren Crystal is, but in his geographical area, beginner's course.
Glasgow.
All these workshops are free. I'm just going to go on and try and find Dennis. It's just to let you see it.
Don't you have to make a contribution, though, Terry? Is that not?
No, you're asked to, but you don't have to. If you can't afford it, you don't pay it. It's not a problem. We don't twist your arm and say you owe us 100 quid or 50 quid. No, the bottom line is it's free. If you're a member, you can go there. You don't have to pay anything. If you can afford it and you want to help, don't forget we're trying to keep the company going as such. We can't run on thin air. So a contribution would be good.
Wayne's just put the south of Glasgow, Darren is.
Yes, yeah.
Is he okay? So anybody living in that area, you can apply. Just go to the AWB website, look up training and development. Or no, not development, that's gone now. Look up training. And it'll all be on there. And you can apply for a place on that course.
The thing is, Frederick, unfortunately, if you want to do the courses, you have to travel. So you just got to go because it's down to where it's got.
We can't bring them to you.
It's down to where the professional turners are able to host the courses.
You have to have a workshop capable of doing six lathes.
Yeah, most of them want to do in their own workshop, which is understandable. That shouldn't cost them money to do the courses. At the end of the day, they're losing money already because they're not getting paid for the day, are they? So.
No.
So you unfortunately have to travel to them. And to be honest, if I was able to get a free lesson, I'd be gone, mate. I wouldn't give a monkeys. I'd be there.
I'll give you a free lesson, Steve. Don't worry. Can't worry, mate.
Thank you very much.
Can
you come to me then?
Yeah, I'll come to you, but I'll charge you to come to you. It's not a problem.
That's all right. You only charge 12p a mile. That'll be all right.
Right, yeah. So there we are. Yeah, that's it. Oh, and by the way, there's a word I'm going to promote it. Look, we're turning weekend is in August.
Chestnut,
if anybody wants to go.
Weekend.
Chestnuts.
It's in Swindon, isn't it?
In Swindon this year. Oh, yeah, this time.
The weekend.
It was in Spalding last year. So yeah, I mean, there's lots of opportunities for everybody to go on there or go look for wood turning clubs. Just type it in, wood turning clubs. Google might have quite a few. Somewhere near you may have one.
Yeah. So you just got to keep your eye. Go on the website and have a look. There's loads of stuff on the website. Absolutely loads.
I wouldn't advocate going on YouTube to learn from zero. No matter how good Terry Bray is, Brian, Steve, Wayne, Mike Walt, no matter how good they are, they may be brilliant, but you're not going to learn by watching it. They got to show you up close and instruct you how to use the tool. Some of the close-ups, you think, I can. But if you're not a beginner, then yes, you will see what they're doing and know how they're doing it, and then you can do it. You can follow it. But if you're a beginner, you won't know how they're holding a chisel. No matter how much they tell you.
Yeah, it's about tool control to start with.
It is. Andy, the Valley Return is in.
Andy. Once you get that tool control and placement right, the rest comes easy. It's just practice.
Andy Dorsex is there. Andrew Livy Woodshed's in. Oh, I don't know what coming in. Well.
So yeah.
No, Lucy. Lucy's gone to the cinema.
Thank goodness for that. What? She won't be moaning all night then. Andy.
Peace and quiet.
I can't believe that. She's away.
She took the kids with her.
She's run away.
Yeah, so there we are.
Right, so while we're talking about Chestnut Weekender, let's talk about Newark.
Can we?
Let's talk about Newark this is why we've got Rob here, really.
I'll be there.
Is that why Rob's here?
Rob? You're going, Rob.
I wondered why Rob was here.
Damn, I never knew you were going.
Wonderful. So, as Terry said, the Midlands Woodworking and Power Show is on next weekend, actually, the 7th and 8th of March.
Yep.
At the Newark Showground. So
it's really expensive, isn't it, Steve? It's £15 for both days, not each.
Fortune.
I don't know how much it is. I don't know how much it is.
£15 if you early bird tickets. That's £7.50 a day.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the link up and I'm going to put the link in the chat for tickets because you've only got a short period of time where you can get your tickets.
Nigel Hartley has just said he's got 98% of his training has come from YouTube.
So did you learn how to turn, Nigel?
At the very beginning, I did as well.
Yeah, so you're right, Terry. For 2 days, no, is it 2 days? 2 day ticket, 1 day ticket.
Friday, Saturday.
2 days is £30 for 2 days.
It's £15 a day.
Oh, it's 30, is it?
It's £15 a day. Sure. So this is the link for Neil and Is it Nilton? Yeah, Nelton, or whatever it's called.
Netton.
You can nearly talk.
Nelton.
LAN. So this is the link for their website. Why won't it let me put a Facebook link in there?
I don't know.
Oh, there we go. That's in there now. Right, so that's the link for the organisers of the woodworking show. So if you want tickets, go over and get your tickets. You also have to pay. You get cheaper tickets if you buy them now for a single day. You are looking at £10 plus £1.50 P&P for 1 day. If it's 2 days, £20. It's £20 plus £1.50 P&P. So go over and get your tickets now. And under 16s are free. So if you've got any little ones who are under 16, they are free.
Like Pete's just said, YouTube is, like any screen, is 2D based. Wood turning is very 3D dimensional.
Yep.
3-dimensional and starts at the foot position. But always say the first money you spend on wood turning is a half a day course.
Well, yeah.
That'll teach you all the basics.
Watch.
Yep.
Yeah.
That'll give you the basics of tool control, a little bit of spindle work. And then you'll get to know whether you like it or not. There's no point in investing if you don't like it. Newark show. So there's loads of exhibitors there. I'll just read you a couple of exhibitors who are going to
Ruben
be there.
Withcraft's just joined us, by the way. Even
Hi,
Ruben.
How are you? So you got Aerospace Supplies, Arbortech, Ashley Isles, Axminster Tools, Chris Miller Woodworking, Chestnut Products, Charmwood, Classic Hand Tools, FlexCut, Glowforce, Greenville Crafts, Harvey Woodworking, Harvey Supplies, Hope Wood Turning.
There's lots more.
There's loads and loads on there. There's absolutely loads.
Did you mention the body range and
I haven't got that far yet.
Some funny abrasives is going as well.
Yeah, they'll be there.
Brian, it's in order of less importance. You get into the good ones now.
Yeah. Well, they're more important as you get down the list because
Simon Oak will be there.
So yeah, and the good thing
Simon
is
Oak will be there. The AWG will be there. Kling Spore Brazers will be there, and the Buddy Range will be there, and it'll all be there.
So the good thing is that you guys perhaps already know who's in the chat that myself and Rob will be there as our first ever trade stand. So that's going to be interesting to see whether I can cope with the pressure. I know Rob can. It's
just me. Marks out of 10 on a Saturday night.
You just see me melting in the corner.
Rob just goes home and sits in a dark room for 4 weeks. He'd be fine.
Yeah. So if anybody is coming to the show, obviously I hope you have a great day. But if you are about, then come over and check us out. We've got loads going on. We've got some prototypes we want to show people.
Yeah, come on. Prototypes. What about more information about prototypes? Come on.
Is that what you said?
No, he's not, Martin Ford.
Is that why, Rob? Is that why you?
I'll show you a glimpse of one, Brian. How's that?
Yeah.
I'm not going to New York. You have to.
Well, that's not my fault.
Yes, it is.
There you go.
Oh, Chuck Jaws.
Soft jaw.
Smashing.
Soft jaws. That's what we need.
Maneuver bow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's a glimpse of very many things very similar.
Have you got any that fit my easy wood chuck?
I can't say that. You refused.
Well, you never know, Brian.
The NDA before you turned up tonight.
Yeah. But anyway, we've got several prototypes that Rob and I have been working on. Mostly Rob, to be honest.
Can I just say before you do that, Martin Ford, the reason he's not going, Martin Samuelson is not going, is he's got a 2-day teaching course and he's fully booked. Yeah. He would have been going, he said.
Yes. Yeah, so obviously we do the pendant jaws at the moment, but I'm bringing out a different jaw.
Which are brilliant.
Which you can do your pendants in the center. So the actual, before you, to shape them. So the pendant, you can use these jaws we're now working on to shape the pendant before you put them in the off-center jaws to put the hole in. So Rob actually came up with the idea of maybe a soft jaw would be better because it grabs it a little bit better rather than the PLA. So Rob's been working with it. He sent me some samples to try, so I've got to try those. But there's that, and there's other things that Rob has been working on that we're going to take to Newark to show people, and if people like them, then we may put them into production.
And also, if you've got an idea, come and talk to us.
Yeah, exactly.
If something you think, why can't I have this, and why can't it be this and that?
Yeah.
Come and talk to us.
There'll be slight remuneration just for say thank you for the idea.
Yeah.
Impulse.
At the end of the day, the buddy range is designed to help out wood turners, your wood turners. So if you've got an idea, like we've always said, not guaranteed it's going to work. We're not guaranteed it's going to be beneficial to do, but we will consider it. Everything that we've done has been designed and thought about by these guys in the room, really. Here, so you know, what I mean, they've come up with the idea and they've said, "Steve, what about this?" And I've drawn it, and that's where it started off from. So yeah, it's hopefully it will work. But like I say, we need your input.
Yeah,
you guys are the ones who are going to be buying it. You're the guys who's going to be buying it. So we need your input to decide what you want.
Wayne would like to know, Rob, are you taking the depth gauge you've developed?
Yes. I've been taking that along with me as well.
Yep.
You know, I'm not a wood turner, so it's difficult for me to design things that I practically don't use. I can only go on what you guys tell me. So
I think the one he's designed, the one you've designed, Rob, it measures 18 feet in a depth of water in the floods for Wayne.
You've got it. and it floats so you can find it afterwards. But it's, you know, what we're after for the buddy range is we can show you some things, and if you think it's rubbish, say it's rubbish. But
it can be changed.
It wouldn't be rubbish if you did this, this, and this. Because like I said, I'm not a wood turner, so it's difficult for me to design things that I practically don't know about. I can only see a concept and come up with various versions of it. So please come and talk to us and say, and have a look at the stuff and say, well, if you did that, if it was this, if it was that, and then we can work on it and try and get something that everybody's got a use for. But the depth gauge, Wayne, I'm going to take that along just to show people and say, well, you know, do you like it, or do you want to change it, or what would you like with it?
It looks good. The one you sent me looked really good. Really good.
7 foot deep for Wayne, just for his workshop. See where the lathe is.
But it's the thing is, like me and Rob was saying.
Nigel Harvey got a good question for you, Steve.
He has.
Will you do a video of your stuff for people that can't get to the Newark? Because obviously a lot of people live a long way away and overseas.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could do a video,
Steve does lots of videos on.
Yeah, but I mean a full video of everything you do. You know, just
I have started a buddy range YouTube channel.
Okay.
So the idea is, I was hoping to do it after Christmas, but with the show and work, I've just not had the time. So the idea is to do anything up to like a 2-minute short video of the product, how it's used, what it's for, and how it's produced. So that was the thinking of it. So yes, the idea of that is there are a few videos already on the Buddy Range channel. So if I give you the link for that, and there's a short video on there on how to use the Mawson 10 gauge, and I wanted to do some of the ones that needed instructions like the Mawson 10 gauge. I wanted to obviously give them the instructions how to use it as well, because a lot of people with the Mawson 10 gauge, they think they can use it when the machine's running, and you can't, because obviously it's plastic, it's going to melt. So that's a no-go really. So if I put this in here,
Rob Copperell has joined us. Good evening, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Stop that.
Just thought, is there any new inspirations on the horizon, Rob, from Klingsport, that is, Rob?
There are not too many of them are really related. This is what I want to do at Newark as well, is I'm going to bring a few things along that, again, because not being a wood turner, it's difficult for me, that I think might be useful to the wood turners. But I say to people, it's the same thing as a buddy range. Is we're a manufacturer, we make this product. So I can show you certain things, but if there's something you guys and girls want, come and talk to me and say, look, you know, why can't you do this? Why can't we have it in this format? Why can't we have it this size? and we want this. And then I could
tell you what, it's good. Yeah. One of the good things is a lot of people now are doing piercing.
Yeah.
And texturing, and they, like round nerdy balls that put dots in and things like this, and piercing things for, to fit the Dremos or to fit the,
we do all the very
wood
tiny
things.
I think I sent them to Brian. It's like we do some incredibly tiny.
Real.
A lot of people are looking for decent cutters for that. So your manufacturer does that.
Well, the ones Rob sent me are excellent. They're really good. It's really fine point.
It's one of the things I sort of say to people is, I remember talking to Steve and Brian at the AWGB about air-fed masks, because there was a stand by us selling air-fed masks. The problem you have is you put the wood turner in front of it, it doubles the price at least.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I showed Brian a equivalent in industry standard that welding and fabricators use day in, day out for a professional use for half the price.
Yep.
As soon as you put wood, if you see these guys selling these things at the wood turning shows, and they label them as wood turning texture in bits, and the price doubles.
Right.
And we sell we sold carbide burrs for donkey's years to the metalworking industry, and they work incredibly well in the woodworking industry as well. But I said, anything you'd like to see, you want it in a different size, a different grit, or whatever, come in. The answer's never no. It's always like maybe. I'll feed it back and see what we can do.
Andy AGK has just put in there 52mm round wet and dry sandpaper.
52mm.
400 to 1,000 grit would be a nice.
Wow.
Yeah, we do. It can be done. We do wet and dry sheets, but we also do wet and dry disc to go in a 5-inch and 6-inch DA disc, which are Velcro backed.
Right.
So we cut those out with a laser. All we need to do is say, okay, don't cut them out at 5-inch, cut them out at 52mm. So because we manufacture the raw product and then we do whatever we want with it, that would be very much of a possibility to do. So you could put wet and dry on
another one. Good one from Frederick Day. I don't know if anybody watches Phil Anderson on YouTube, but he does use Sandiflex discs, whereas it's basically fingers of sandpaper on a round disc, and they flap like a flat wheel.
Yes,
different grades. And those are very good. Yeah, and that's Frederick's saying that type of tool. Do you do those to go into your?
Yeah, we do. I've sent a couple out to guys. The problem we have at the moment is they're probably too big for what you guys want. I think the smallest ones.
About 3 inches in diameter.
Yeah, they're about 3 inches in diameter. What you guys want is something that's 1 inch diameter.
Maybe not.
We can get away with 3 inch and things like that. Yeah.
We do those. What with they're called like finger rolls, and we do slash rolls where people make their own up. So it's a roll of thing, but it's cut into like 2mm strips. So that every 5 inches is a piece that goes across it, but the rest of it is cut in so people can cut them up and do what they want with them. So anything is possible. There's no definite no, we can't do it. It's what I have to do is
you need the ideas.
Yeah, I need the idea. Then I need to build the case, and then what happens is it goes into our R&D in Germany. They send it out to everybody in Europe and say, "Have you got a need for this?"
Yeah, and obviously you need a commercial reason to do it, not just make one or two.
It tends to be a thing. Is like if we can sell 30,000 of these things in a year, we'll do it.
Yeah.
And so it's not a stupidly high bar we have to get over. And by the time you send it out to Europe, the guys in the UK say, "Yeah, we'll sell 5,000 of these." In France, say, "Yeah, we'll sell another 5,000." In Germany, say, "We'll sell 10," and you can sometimes quite quickly get to that. But we need those ideas. We make sandpaper. We don't make wood turning tools. We need the wood turning.
Not yet, anyway.
I want this.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet.
And how all this started is when I went down to Yandles and met Wayne and Jamie and that. I said to them, "It's like, I've got to put my hands up. I have no idea what I'm doing here. You tell me what you need in the future." And they were great. They said, "Yeah, we want this, we want that, we want this." And we went away and did it. So there's no. It's always a maybe. Let me go and have a look and see if I can get it done.
Could I just take you back, Rob, to what you said just now about wood turning power masses they used in other industries?
Yes. Yeah.
I'll be interested in what prices those are, mate.
Well, I think we looked at it in like what, a distributor I've got. I said to guys is go and talk to your local welding and fabricating distributor. You've all got one in your town that sells welding plant and welding wire and what have you. They're experts in air-fed breathing equipment because every welder in the world has to use it. And whether they're grinding or welding, they have to use air-fed mass systems nowadays.
It's a much bigger market too.
And it's a much bigger market. And
that's why it's cheaper.
When we was
the problem I have is looking through the black glass to try and see the wood.
Well, yeah, just get a bigger torch, Terry.
Need a brighter light.
They're brilliant. They will, talk to them and say to them, "This is exactly what I want to do. I'm dealing with dust. I'm dealing with vapors from varnish or solvents, and I want it air fed, and I want the battery on the back of my head, or I want it on a belt." And they will put a package together. And I said, I showed Brian, we just randomly searched, and the one on the table BIOS was like £1,000, and the equivalent one was like £400 from a welding distributor.
That's right.
Wow, because they are £1,000 to buy now.
Yeah, because it didn't have that wood turner's breathing mask in front of it.
Prefix.
Yeah, it's like you guys had discovered. I smiled to myself when you all started using inks and you were buying them from the range. If you bought those inks from somebody with a wood supplier, they'd have been 3 times the amount of money.
They are.
Lewis, the Klondike Craftsman, sells them.
Yeah, it's so. Talk to your local welding and fabricating suppliers, and that what usually happens with those is they get the manufacturer's rep to phone you up and saying, "Okay, what are you dealing with?" And it's like, well, for you guys, it's dust and vapors. And you say, right, you want this with these filters.
But that's the thing. If you got it on a belt, you just change your filters to suit what you're doing, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you can put multiple filters in there, whether it's dust, and say to them, I had a chat to the company called Universal to make air-fed masks, and I had a chat to the rep at a show I did. And he said, I said, I just need to know. And he said, well, it's wood, but what types of wood? Because different types of wood need different types of filters. So they are experts at it.
I'll look into that actually.
Yeah, go for me in my area. It's Wellington welding, but there's in every area. Even if you like, email me where you are, and I'll find your local welding distributor. There's nothing in it for us, but I'd like you guys to be safe.
Yeah, Malcolm Douglas has just pointed out it needs to be impact resistant as well, of course.
Yeah. Well, a lot of these masks,
it does for Brian because everything keeps flying off. But
Brian would get a double thickness one, double glazed one.
Poor Brian,
double glazed one.
The welding
glass he'd get.
Yeah, they're dealing with sparks and metal.
Yeah,
so their helmets are probably stronger than the wood turning.
Proof.
Yeah, certainly.
And the good thing with welding masks or welding protection is normally you get a protective film over it, so you just peel them off. So
and the beauty with those things is once if you can deal with your local welding fabricator, you can guarantee you'll have every spare part of that helmet in stock. So if you break the glass or break the bracket or break something on it, they sell all the parts individually. You don't have to go out and spend another £1,000 to be going. So that's what I would do is, if you're like, email me and I'll find out who the local welding fabricator is in your area, or if you already know them.
There'll be one in Grantham, and I should imagine there'll be one in Boston as well.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have a look.
And like
Dancing with Aardvarks, Mike has just put a joke in. He said, do they do prescription visors? Actually, Mike, that's not much of a joke because they probably do.
They do. You can get prescription visors. You can get the lenses.
You need to talk to Lewis. He does them all. He's
the thing is, be difficult driving down the road with all this on, wouldn't it? Because you forgot your glasses,
To me, if the mask was that close to my face and I couldn't wear my glasses, I'd be like, maybe this isn't the right mask for me.
Mask for me, yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I think 95% of wood turners wear glasses.
Yeah.
Well, 95% of wood turners are old. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say that 95%.
Yeah,
Susie the Swiss worst turners come in now, talking of old. Oh, hello, Susie.
Susie the Swiss troublemaker.
Susie. Yeah, I think the average wood turner is about 60, isn't it?
Don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But certainly, maybe more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A question for you guys. As a non-wood turner, the conversation, the topics come up quite often is like, where do you sell your stuff and how do you sell it, whether it's craft fairs or online, or there's a local shop that you've got a shelving unit in. As like most people on a Sunday, me and the wife and what have you, would begin to the garden centre. I don't see it in garden centres.
You won't.
I see crockery and I see glassware and I see other crafted stuff.
You do.
I never see wood turning bowls.
You very rarely see wood turning because it's not something they recognise again.
And they want so much money to sell it.
And they want like 90% of what you sell. They want the profit of it.
Okay.
You know, that's the trouble. I mean, I'm a National Trust. Ruth and I are National Trust members. We've been National Trust members now for about 50 years, right? And for 50 years, I've been going to the National Trust places all over the country. And they do sell. We're turning stuff in there. And I went in and they had acorns, 2 inches square, out of oak, just acorns turned solid. That's it, with a little stalk on the end. £19 for an acorn. It'd take me about 3 minutes to make.
Yeah.
The wood turner was getting about £3. Do they sell them? I don't know. I never bought one at that price.
But,
I mean, I don't sell anything, to be honest. I don't have anything in any shop. I don't sell anything. I give it all away normally. Yeah. Or if you look at my art room, it's full up with it.
It's just like, you go to these garden centres and you always see it as coach loads of old age pensioners, on their day trips going around the local street things, and they pay stupid amounts of money for something you could buy in your local range for a quarter of the price because it's in a posh, nice environment with lots of flowers and cactuses. And I'm thinking, well, I've never seen the wood turn inside of it in there.
No. Well, Pete's got it right. Look, most garden centres are big chains, Bloom, whatever they're called, and all the rest of it. They want an order of at least 1,000 units. Brian refuses to turn even 2 for him. You know what I mean? But that's true. They want. If you got into a garden centre and said, "Look, I can make just say a set of tools, a fork and a spoon or a spatula out of wood, and you sell it on your store," they say, "Yes, okay. Can we have 10,000 by the end of the month?"
Well, Brian's got 2 funnels. There's only 998 to go.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So that's it, isn't it? They just say, we want 10,000 of them, or we want 1,000 a month.
True.
And then you become a production turner.
Yeah.
Then the hobby's defeated then because you're not a hobbyist anymore.
Then you're back to work.
Back to work.
Yes.
And yes, that would suit some people because they would love to have a living making that, but then it wouldn't be a hobby to them. Then it'd be a job.
Yeah. I can see that.
Most of the people in the chat, I think, probably bar all of them, in fact, except for Martin Ford, doesn't do it for a living. They do it for fun. Yeah. And they put things in galleries or shops. I know Wayne's got a few places he puts things in shops and things like that. Which he's got to work for because not only does he turn it, he got to sit down there for at least 1 day a month and run the shop in exchange for having it. So, I know Martin puts things in galleries and he very good turner too.
Put Mike's question up there, Steve.
Will Kingsford ever do carving burrs like cut saw and servitude? I just asked that question.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, they already do.
Yeah, right. We do them already. Yeah, I've got some.
And so have I.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're not the spiky head ones.
Cut saw spike ones, are they?
No, ignore what they look like. Is what they do.
It's what the effect, yeah.
Yeah, these things are incredibly professional. They're high performance.
And they're razor sharp too.
Stainless steel industry, and they just eat wood.
Yeah, they do. Good evening, Steve Fleming.
Thanks
for joining us.
Oh, Wayne's quit doing his shops now. He doesn't do his
have you, Wayne? Oh, no. Okay. Okay, well, I didn't know that, but there we are.
I had this great idea of trying to get some stuff into a furniture shop.
Mm-hmm.
What, table legs, things like that?
No, bowls and
with
stuff.
With a table.
If you go into a furniture shop, there's loads like coffee tables and they've got You know, they may have a
candelabras on there, bowls.
May have a set up where they've, there's a suite of furniture and a couple of little tables and.
It's
on
one
a
of those things.
display
If
that
you
could
talk
put
to
a bowl
somebody
or
who's
something in.
a non-wood turner and say to them, if you wanted to buy a wooden fruit bowl, where would you get it from? 9 times out of 10, they say IKEA.
IKEA, yeah.
Yeah, £6 each.
They wouldn't know where else to go and get
made in China.
Fruit bowl.
I have a couple of local places that are sort of family-run furniture shops, and I'm sure they're everywhere in the country, and are not tied to a big chain. So you can maybe try and get some of your work in there. That might be an idea for you to have a look at. I'm too lazy to go to the shop and try and negotiate with them. That's my trouble.
See, like Ruben said, if you went to a kitchen company or, like you say, a furniture showroom, they could have them on display, because a lot of them have them on display and then have a full sale. But I've been to pubs and restaurants where they've had pictures on the walls, but they're all for sale.
Yes,
absolutely.
Great. If you want to go knocking on the doors, then probably I'm sure they'd accommodate you, because any profit to them is keeping the pub going or keeping the restaurant going or whatever.
Exactly, but it's down to how much commission they want. Because to me, when they want like 60%, that's just being greedy.
Too much. Yeah, I mean, 40% is what they should be getting.
Yeah.
Because
when I went to the lavender place in Sandringham, they wanted to take. It was either 58 or 68% of whatever the piece sold for. And I just said, that's not worth me doing it. I'll be basically giving it to you for free.
Yeah, like Mike said, he's tried a furniture shop, local furniture, and they want a big cut. Yeah. But then any cut's better than nothing. I'm sure you could have angled with them.
Is it though? If you've turned something that's cost you 50 quid to turn and you want 150 for it, if you're only just covering your materials, what's the point?
Yeah,
that's why I've got a lot of stuff sitting here. Yeah. And I turn for fun, but not for profit. So,
I mean, for something to sit on a table, for something to sit in a showroom, was valued at 150 quid. If they took 50 quid of it, that's more than fair, isn't it? Really, to be honest.
But they want to take the 100 and give you the 50.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
of course they do.
But then Martin says people still do want handmade stuff in Britain.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
Not something made in a machine in China.
It's just being in the right place with your stock. That's what it's all about.
It's the perennial problem of supply and demand.
And going to £10 and £15 craft fairs, table, £10, £15.
Never going to make anything.
You're never going to make money, because the clientele going through there is not.
They want it for nothing.
They're not going there to spend lots of money. You want to be going to farmers markets and this big stand like Sandringham and places like that.
So, like Frederick's saying, most shops I've tried, they don't want to know. One shop wanted 50%. He gave up, and he does a couple of craft shows a month, and he's doing okay with it, but it doesn't pay the mortgage. Of course, it doesn't. No. But then, if you were in your professional workshop with 2 lathes going in, 3 lathes going, you had 2 people working for you, you were making 500 light poles an hour type of thing, and you had a manufacturer that just said, "Yeah, send them to me. I'll sell them," and it was 50%. Then you probably would make a living, even with 50% surcharge, because they'd be selling them, and you'd be getting £1,000 a week. So it swings and roundabouts, and it's the amount of work you've got to do to get it. But then you got to get your wood supplier to say, "Yeah, I want 4 planks of ash or 4 planks of beech, 3.5 meters long by 20 inches wide, because I'm doing a lot of such and suches." And that supplier got to be able to send it to you right away, because you'd be then a production turner. And most of us are not wanting to be. I've done production work, and it's blinking hard work. I did it for a few years, like 6 years. And it was hard work.
Martin Ford's got the right idea. His first event this year is going to be at RHS Wesley.
Yeah.
That'll be an expensive stand, but that's where the money is.
Yep.
Yeah. Follow the money.
People that go to RHS Wesley
and
will have
places
money.
Like that.
Will spend the money.
If you go to your local school fair, they don't.
No, it's just local school kids and school kids, mums and dads.
It's the parents might buy a couple of snowmen for Christmas for the kids.
Well, the trouble is you got nan and granddads there, mum and dads, and they basically just come to support the school. So they don't want to. Yeah. They're basically all the the one I did last year. There was 20 different crafters there, but then the school had like a room full of like zeros and fives and like lucky dip and all this. They've done massively really well because they're supporting the school. But the traders I didn't sell anything all day.
It's like we got a local small shopping mall called Angel Place, and they do a craft or a stallholders fair through there. You can guarantee you walk through there any time of the day, and every stallholder is sat down.
Yeah.
Because people just go in there.
Nobody's changing money.
Yeah, they just go in there for a certain shop to buy cards or a dress or a pair of jeans or some food.
Yep.
Yeah.
They don't go in there for a craft fair. And it's like, how many times are you going to come back and sit there in your chair all day long and maybe sell one thing that you might catch somebody's eye? It's picking the right place to sell it. That's ultimately anything.
And of course, you then got to judge your right price because at a craft fair, you might sell, I don't know, just something. Just say you're selling a bowl, you might sell it for 20 quid.
Yeah,
you might sell that bowl in a gallery for 200.
Yeah, if you sell a slate, coaster in Bridgewater and Angel Place, it's probably £1.50. If you take it to Hyde Park in London, it's 16 quid.
Yeah,
it's where you are and who your clientele are. That's the trick to do is learn who they are and what they're willing to pay for it.
But the thing is, on one place you'd spend £10 for the table, and another you spend 2,000.
Yeah.
So, that's the trouble.
Yeah, that's why.
Which is fine,
That's why when you go to these big shows, everything's so expensive because I know for a fact Sarandon, they have the big open event there twice a year.
Every year.
And the stands there are £1,000 upwards for the 2 days.
Yeah.
But
exactly. That's it. You've got to pay £1,000 just to go in there.
Yeah.
Before
Yeah.
So then you've got to be selling stuff for £50 and £100 a pop.
Yeah.
To make your money back.
One of the guys I know who teaches people to sell and what have you, he uses a thing that most people can relate to. If you go out for a pint to your local, if it's £4 a pint, you go, it's getting a bit expensive, but you don't really barter about it and moan about it. You're quite happy to pay for it. You walk into a hotel in central London, you're quite happy to pay £8 for a pint because it's going to be more expensive. Yeah. And he says it's that perception of where you are and who you're dealing with, of what you're willing to pay for. It's exactly the same pint in exactly the same glass, but you'll pay twice the amount of money for it because of where it is, and you won't moan about it because you're expecting it to be that price.
Yeah. And some shows you'll pay £25 to get in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it cuts down the clientele, or it doesn't cut it down. It makes sure the clientele can afford that to get in first. Yeah. So they got enough money to pay for the other goods.
You guys look at Maker Central. What is it? £25 just to park?
Yeah.
Yeah.
£30 if you're disabled.
Yeah, just to park your car.
Do you know why that is?
Because they're wealthy.
No, because you're closer to the venue. So they charge you £5 more. Work that out. If you got a disabled badge, don't park in the disabled bay. Cost you more.
But
so I was told.
People expect it because it's now not Newark, it's not Harrogate, it's the NEC, the exhibition centre of the UK.
Ruben says, Ruben Woodcraft says it helps to demonstrate at these shows. Well, it may do to the people that are the punters that are looking around, but of course then you've got to buy the electricity, right? Because they'll supply that at another £90 on top of what you got. It's not cheap. The people you see, the SK Crafts and the Klingspors of the world that get these stands at shows, I hate to tell you what they are, but it's not cheap.
It's not cheap.
I don't know whether Steve or Rob wants to say out what it is, but you take like the Simon Oak that has 20, 30 foot long, they're in the thousands.
Yeah. I'm not going to tell people how much.
No, but they're in the thousands just to rent the stand.
I won't say what we're doing at Newark. I won't say what we're doing at Harrogate. That's not right to say.
Not fair.
We do shows at the NEC, and we have a 3 meters by 5 meters long stand, and it's in the excess just shy of £15,000.
There you go.
That's in the NEC. So, and that's just to have the floor space before you do anything else.
Yeah.
Then there's the cost of the stock and everything else you have to do.
Pete's
as well.
got a good Pete's answer there. Pete's got a good one. Look. Pete says, if anyone is doing a show, fair, similar event, my advice is to pair up with a complimentary craft, half the store price, and gives you a free member of staff, so you can go and have a pee and all the rest of it when you need to.
Haley has a good point to follow that. Pair up with a food stand.
The food store. They always seem to be selling stuff.
Food stores always do well. Whenever I've done an event, the cake store and the food store are always the one. Well, you remember when I did
the ice cream man outside in the car park? Always.
Remember the alpaca one I did last year?
Yeah.
By 11 o'clock, the cake store had sold out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She was there an hour, and she must have had 200 cakes, at least 200 cakes.
Yeah.
She sold out that was on the first day. The second day, she cooked more, and she was finished by 1 o'clock. It's just unreal.
It's true, and it works in very many different ways. It's for us. We do a lot of big industrial shows, or like the Royal Cornwall show. We do it at Wellington Weld Inn, and there's 8 suppliers there with 2 or 3 marquees each. We always demand to be next to the power tool guy, because the power tool guy is the honey that will draw everybody in.
And then your sandpaper will fit all the power tools.
You got it. And everybody wants to play with the new power. And you guys do it all the time. I see you do it. You bought this, you bought that. It's the third one I bought of this because now it does this.
It's got a new badge on it.
It's got a new badge on it. Or now it's got a torch or a laser beam on it.
Well, Ruben's saying the booth at a fair is around 20 to 30 euros where he is. And he sells around 100 euros on average. But then he's got to pack it all in, take it all, unpack it all. So he's getting 70 euros for a day. An average worker would get £150 a day if they were working for a company.
Yeah.
And Lewis says, we used to do woodworking shows where we would have 10 booths and sell £75,000 of tools in a weekend. There's always gave 10 by 10 booth for free for my wife to sell my stuff in. I was demoing and live.
Yeah.
See, that's what you want to do. Then you want to find a big company like Lewis runs, and then team up with them. And they give you a free space.
It's one of these. It's like
George Watson's in. Good evening, George.
Equivalent of scales. I know when I went to New York last year with one of our tech guys just to have a walk around because I've never been to New York and see. And we went and talked to the distributor who was working with Record Power Tools, and he said, it was the first time he'd done it, and he said it was bonkers. He said within 10 minutes, somebody walked straight in the hall, straight to the Record Power Tool, pointing to 7 grams worth of lathe and said, I want that. But their stand was huge. It must have cost them a lot. It's when you're now selling buddy range in sandpaper that is 20, 30 pounds, you've got to get a lot up to that £7,000. So your stand is naturally smaller. But what I would say is support those small guys. Because with all those big guys, they're fine. They can afford to do it. The small guys, they're doing it on a budget. Support them.
Lewis used to be the power tool and sandpaper guy. I'll tell you what, Haley's got a good point. People will pay £4 for a slice of cake that the children will throw half of it away. Yet they'll not pay £10 for something that'll last for years. Well, you know what you want to do, Haley? You want to bake 10 cakes, 10 bowls, big piece of cake in the middle, sell the bowl for 14 quid. Boom.
Go around and cut
a piece of cake for free.
Half price.
Recycled cake.
Put a piece of cake in cling film, stick it in the bowl and say you buy that for £14.
Right, let's put
Here's a question then, says Martin Ford. How do you price your items? I go for 5 to 5, so it's 50-50, and half of the cost of the materials. If I think it will sell for more, less, I'll up or down the price. Right. So whatever it costs you, multiply by 5. 50-50 for them and you. I'll take it that means.
I'm not sure what that means. I'd go for 5 to 5 and then half the cost of the materials.
So if he costs him £4 for £8 for a bow blank, £10 for a bow blank. So it's £5 is the cost of the bow blank then, because he's cut that in half, because he's paying half, you're paying half for the bow blank, and he sells a bow, right? Say, and then he goes 50-50. So the people in the shop want £20 because he's charged 50 quid for the bow. Well, they want 20 or £25, so it's 25 for him, 25 for them. And then if he thinks, oh, hang on a minute, I'll put it up because my bows are selling well. I'll stick it up to £100 for a bowl, and I'll get 50 quid, and they'll get 50 quid. Is that what you mean, Maureen? I'm not sure.
Well, I don't think that's what it means at all.
Well, that's just what
that was very complicated.
No, well, no, if you're intelligent, Brian. Come on.
I go for 5 by 5 and half the cost of.
What would you go for?
five
Half
times the cost.
5 times the cost. Cost of what?
5 times the price of materials to make it simpler. That's what he's trying to say.
Right, okay.
But then he's half the price of the materials.
I don't understand the math.
5 by 5 and a half.
I didn't understand the question really, but never mind.
I think what he's
Basically,
saying is
5 times the price.
Yeah, so if it costs
to
him
make
10
it
quid to
simpler.
make it, he'll sell it for 50 quid.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
Wayne
the
makes a
materials
good
cost him
point.
£10.
There's no correct formula out there.
No, there is no formula.
The basis of it is for us as a worldwide corporation, it's what does it cost to make that material, whatever, the 50 mil sanding disc.
Yep.
So all the raw materials that go into it,
The electric.
the cost of the machine that we've had to buy from somebody, the electric, somebody to
The
stand there
labourers,
and do it,
the machine, the people in there working.
put it in a box, put it in a warehouse, and ship it to
cost
you.
of the box.
It's just not the materials; it's what it costs to make it. To say, right now, I can sell it, and then the formula. That's when the formula then stops, because do you want to do it just to make some money so you can make some more because you enjoy doing it as a hobby, or do you want to make it because you want to make it your living and pay your mortgage and pay your thing? It's what you want to do after. But the basics of it is the materials it costs to make it, the machine, the maintenance of the machine, the replacing the sandpaper, the varnishes, the tools, everything. It cost me 10p to make that disc. Okay, now what do I want to do? I just want to make discs, so I charge 10p. I can make them forever and a day. Or I want to pay my mortgage, I'm going to have to charge 20p.
Yeah.
That's the formula up to a point, then it stops because everybody is different of what you want to do.
You cannot
like
be selling.
You've got to rent the warehouse and all the rest.
Less than it costs you to make it. You can't do that. It's pointless.
And then if you're making one-offs, the storage space is minimal. But if, like Pete was on about before, Garden said he wants 10,000 of the things. That's a lot of storage space. And the packaging and the shipping costs go up. And you probably have to get somebody else to look after that for you. So it's really after you've paid for everything to make it, what do you want to do after that? Do you want to become a millionaire, or do you just happy to cover your costs so it allows you to carry on making
your hobbies free? Yeah.
Your hobbies free.
Yeah. I'd never really want to sell a piece just for cost. I want to make
money. And that's the issue with wood turning as a business. The problem is there's a whole lot of people out there who are not selling it at the price it costs to make it.
No, not because they're hobby turners. They're in this.
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
retired. They're in their shed They're all in their shed, and they just do a craft sale or a yard sale or car boot or whatever, just to basically fund buying the materials for the next projects.
Yeah.
Yep.
They think, I made 100 quid today. I can go buy more wood to make some more stuff.
The always difficult part of any of that equation is time.
Correct.
How long it takes to make it.
Yeah. Well, in Wayne's case, you can make you make 10 bows an hour.
Yeah.
Some people make one bowl every 3 hours. So,
the thing is, even if you're retired, your time is not free.
No, it's not.
But you have a basic fixed cost, and that's the materials, the production cost in itself, without any labour, and then labour on top of that.
Yeah.
So,
and if you look at
there's the things you need to look at first. If you looked at that and extrapolate it out to a sensible, if you want to charge £25 an hour, which is
reasonable, actually.
Reasonable, I think.
Yeah.
And it takes you an hour or an hour and a half or 2 hours to produce a piece to decent quality.
So that's £50
Just 50 quid to
plus,
start
plus your materials, plus
plus
your
materials, plus
workshop,
your
your
ball
wear and
blank,
tear and your
etc.
tools.
Electric.
So let's just go with a 20 quid blank, another say a tenner for your materials for your running costs, if you want to call it that. You're up to 100 quid already.
That's really
People
profit.
people are going out there selling a 10-inch or a 12-inch bowl for 20 quid.
Yeah.
Go figure.
And the thing is, everybody's got these big lathes. You mean they must be? I don't know what they use electric. If you imagine you turn the bowl for 3 hours.
Well, you take 3 kilowatts, right? 3 kilowatt motor.
Yep.
You're spending
60 odd pence to turn the bowl.
60 pence, more than 60 pence a minute,
That's
an hour.
25p a kilowatt, isn't it?
Yeah, you're
28p,
probably
I think, a kilowatt.
yeah. So you're paying 80 pence.
And how much does that lathe cost in the first place?
Hour.
Yes, $6,000 worth of lathe.
Yeah, and so you got to get
and your lathe price of that.
Yeah,
before you
sharp,
start making money.
Wear and tear on your tools.
Your Klingspor belts, all that adds up, doesn't it? You still
It's
got
all
to buy
money.
And this takes us right back to what the hobby's called or what it's called in the beginning. Is it an art or is it a craft or what is it?
It's a
So it
hobby.
takes us all the way back to that again.
Yeah.
I think
it's
for you,
arts and craft.
yeah,
it's
for
a
you,
can of worms. That's what it is.
yeah, for you guys, I
Can of
think I honestly do
We'd
think
like to open that up.
what ultimately you can walk away from a craft fair and go, it was a good day. Whether you sold one bowl or it sold no bowls, but you had a lot of fun and a lot of conversations with people, or you sold 100 bowls. I think if you go there to go, I need to pay my mortgage this month, you're going to come away disappointed.
You need Robert Broadwood's. Like, he's been retired 10 years. He was charging 30. He was charging when he would work £30 an hour. You try making something and charge £30 an hour for making anything.
Yeah. Industry standard.
Even if you make 10 light poles in an hour, that's £3 a light pole before the materials and the what you use to make it and all the rest of it, and the cost of the timber.
Wear your tools.
Cost of the timber.
What we do,
and you wouldn't sell a light pole for £8, would you?
Our costings as a company is £50 an hour. Whether I'm sat here in front of a laptop or driving down the motorway or talking to a customer, it's £50 an hour. It costs the company. Yeah. By the time they pay my wages, insurance, and car and lights for the factory,
price of the laptop, all the rest of it, the mileage you do.
Yeah, it's £50 an hour. And I know
you've got to go out then to your customers and sell them the new range of whatever's, haven't you?
You need to make you
got to undercut the competition as well as a distributor. You got to undercut the competition.
I think that's one of the issues you guys have is what you make is a craft, is an art, like Steve said in the very beginning of this. And I totally agree that I stood there in awe and watched you guys turn a lump of wood into something. And it's like, wow. General Joe Public sees that in IKEA for £3. Correct. It's cost you £30 before you even try to make any money on it. Yeah. They don't see that. That's a problem. And I don't know how you guys get over that issue. The only way I would say is you need to make something unique that the Chinese, Taiwanese, and people who run these big factories that spill these things out 10,000 an hour cannot make or cannot do. And that comes down to I think, like things like texture and in coloring and making it different. You make a plain, simple wooden bowl, you're never going to compete.
No. The thing what amazed me with woodturn is if you've got a tradesman, let's say carpenter, who's been doing their job for 30 years, who is the best carpenter they could
Terry
ever be.
Bartlett, he's been there 30, 40 years, carpenter.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you would not dream, well, I personally would not dream to go on site and get paid under £28 an hour, right? To do my everyday job. But I stand at a lathe and turn a bowl that takes me 2.5, 3 hours, and I'll go to a craft fair and I'll sell it for 35, 40 quid.
Yeah, there you go.
Because it's a hobby.
Yeah.
It's not a profession. You know what I mean? And this is the thing this is like what I said at the beginning, there's no recognised profession for woodturn. If there was, and you was a recognised professional woodturner, as in a profession like an MVQ or diploma or whatever else, then you could then be saying, right, I want more money for it. And if you look at a lot of professional wood turners, they don't actually make their money through the pieces they turn and sell. They make it through teaching and production turning.
Yeah, look, Lewis has just said that. Some crafts are much worse than turning. My mother would spend 50 hours crocheting a dolly that you could only get $100 at best for. So that means mother was only making half $1 an hour or whatever. Yeah, an hour.
Yeah.
$1 an hour.
Yeah.
That's without materials.
Yeah. And you can toss a pancake in McDonald's and get £9 an hour.
Yeah.
So for you guys, I think it's like what you've got to do is got to be unique and not mass producible.
And also you've got to make things that people want, but they also got to appreciate the effort that you've put into it.
Yeah.
And if you get 5,000 people, right, who are retired, they got a pension and a state pension and all the rest of it coming in, and they make a bowl for $5. Well, that's because they don't need the money. So they're making everybody else having to cut their prices to try and match.
Yeah. Wayne's totally right with that for us. Like I've said many times, in Europe and the UK, 80% of our market is metalworking, 20% of it's woodworking. In the States, is 80% woodworking, 20% metalworking. They're
and
more
people appreciate it there.
And appreciate their wood more than we do in Europe. And I've got a couple of nice pieces. Pete's turned me some stuff, and Huey's turned me some stuff, and Andy at Wivey Woodsheds maybe some stuff. Prior to that, I had no wood turning stuff in my house.
Nope.
No.
99% of the country doesn't
any
have
wood
any.
turning stuff in my house.
Evening to Wayne Bigfoot, by the way, and he's just said, when I make my stuff, the only value is how many pizzas it helps to cook while it's in the burning.
There we go.
And I've been to Wayne's Pizza Days, and he does burn all his wood turning stuff. But the pizzas are lovely.
But you always get that solvent taste on your pizza.
Yeah.
Is it not?
Use chestnut on this one. Yeah.
Getting your head in the right place type of thing of, I do this for hobby, I do it for fun. Like Terry said, it switches me off. I forget about all the rubbish I've had to deal with through the day.
The mental health problem's gone,
If you're on the other side of it, you go, I want to make loads of money about it, it's a different mindset.
You're never going to make money out of unless you got yourself in galleries and you're selling 3,000 and 4,000 pieces.
Well, even those, of course,
£3,000 or £4,000 piece.
Yeah.
You're never going to make a lot of money out of.
You are. I could tell you a story about. Go back to garden centre. You've already been in garden centres. You see those big black parrot cages, cast iron things.
Yes.
I went into a little one in Fabricator, just about 50 miles up from where I am, and I thought it was a parrot cage. It looked like that. It was just roughly put together with some caging on it and the 2 doors and what have you. Apparently, no, it was a dressing table that he sells in a gallery in London, and he sells them for £15,000 a time.
There you go.
Yeah. And to me, I thought it was just one of those black parrot cages that you see in garden centres. But that's the only way I think you guys are going to make become millionaires.
Malcolm Douglas says, "Sorry, I've got to go. Let us know if you have any real answers." Well, we haven't.
Cheerio, Malcolm. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Appreciate
this is
it.
a question for you, Rob. Was I wrong to introduce Rob to the wood?
I blame Wayne. Yes. My life has never been the same. I used to sleep at nights. I never used to get funny phone calls or silly emails. It was just, my life was easy till I met Wayne. Wayne, it was you. I blame you, fella.
Yeah. You going to Newark, Wayne, by the way? Don't know if you're coming down.
This is very
Bruce
true.
would like to see you if you are. And Steve Fleming, look. I only turned to get away from the wife.
Timber costs so much in the UK because of space. Yeah. And I don't think we haven't got. You got to think the size of America. I mean, the trees they have is unreal. That's absolutely amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, but their backyards are about 4 or 5 acres, so they could just stick a resaw blade on there and off they go.
Yeah.
Okay, Wayne. Sorry about that.
Lewis again, there, weren't we?
Yeah.
It's
Terry's Wayne said he can't make it.
If you were doing that and you've got to put it, what's the sort of average time to dry a piece of wood for a blank? 4 or 5 years?
2 years if you rough turn it first.
So that's a big investment. You mill all this wood, you put it in there, and you continuously doing it in the conveyor belt of it goes in one end, in 3 years it falls out the other end and you sell it. What do you charge for those 3 years?
Well, nothing, but you've had a store, haven't you?
Yeah, store.
And you could lose 20% of that wood anyway because it's split or cracked.
Split, cracked, yeah.
Frederick says he wants to know how Glenn Lucas does it.
I'll tell you how he does it, Fred.
Glenn Lucas depends mostly on his teaching nowadays.
Yeah, but he does make 400 to 500 a month bowls, and they all go to America and they all get sold.
Yep.
Yeah,
and he has container lorries come to pick them up. So but then when you think he's invested, I don't know, but got to be best part of £2 million. In his teaching school, 10, 12 lathes.
He has a beautiful school. There's no doubt about that.
It's a lot of money he's invested, and he's got to make it back somewhere.
There you go, Wayne. The only way to make £1 million would to start with 20 million.
Yeah. After 5 years, you'll make $1 million. That's all you'll have left.
The difference is that you pay £100 for a tree that has 50 plus banks into it. See, that's the thing with Americans, isn't it? They buy a whole freaking tree.
Yeah. What?
Mm-hmm. Whole freaking tree.
Friggin' tree.
And then process it down. I mean, my good friend William does that. He has trees and processes it.
Yeah, well, that's his job. He's a tree surgeon.
Yeah, that's what his job was for years.
That's what his job was or is. So great. And then people that know tree surgeons slip them a few bob and they say, oh, we got like 10, we chop your log there and you got a 6 foot by 20-inch log, and they get it delivered and that's it. It sits in your garden then for 2, 3, 4 years and you chop it up.
Yeah, it's a problem.
You got to store it. You got to have room to store it. Me, it's easy. I just ring up my mate Martin Pigeon and say I need 10 blanks of ash because I'm doing a YouTube live, and he says, okay, that's £8 a blank or £10 a blank, so I've just spent 200 quid. Perhaps I should sell them to the people that come in, but I don't because I'm doing it for fun.
What was your question, Steve?
I'm going to save it for next month now.
You think? Okay.
Yeah, this has been going on long enough. Yeah,
I never got a question, Steve.
I'm going to save it for next month.
Good.
But Lewis is true. Lewis don't have yew, which is a weed. Weed. We use as a weed here, Lewis. If we need some yew.
You want some?
Weeds, mate. We got tons of it.
We got loads of it.
You ought to believe us.
Bring a big suitcase.
You'll believe this. Yeah. Pardon me?
If you can get Glenn Lucas, of course, is very highly recommended.
Yep, I agree with Pete. It's excellent. We had a great time.
Yeah, I was going to go on that. I had COVID, couldn't go.
Yeah,
Lost £150 in flights. I couldn't go. Messed me right up. I did because I paid the blinking airport fee, and then I had COVID the week before, and I wasn't allowed to go.
Is that where Glyn collapsed because he was too drunk, couldn't go up the stairs?
The socialising, that's the socialising was even better. The route turning was fine. The socialising was even better.
Glenn and Joe are going to Newark. Anybody that's going, Glenn and Joe are going there. So watch the space on Friday night.
It's interesting. What I find I like about the woodturning industry, no matter how long you guys have been doing it and how many YouTube followers and subscribers you got, it's like Pete said there. It's like, I hold Pete in great admiration. I hold all you guys. It's go and watch that guy and you'll learn something. Mm-hmm. And people go and watch him and learn something. There's no individual going, I know everything. I can do anything.
Oh, no. Some of us are invincible.
Apart from Terry,
some of us are invincible. But other than that, no.
The day you stop learning is the day you die.
But I do stop learning. I have learned actually this week. To be honest, I've learned this week. Do not use a hammer on a jam chuck. It splits the wood.
How did you learn that, Terry?
Brian split the wood yesterday when he hammered it on. He was just brutal.
Just a question. Was it like a little tap, 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 or was it a bang?
No, he just give it a whack. I said, not that hard. He didn't boing. It was it.
What we call him, heavy-handed Brian.
Yeah, split the
It's funny that the one I made earlier the day before was perfect. And the one I would try to make with Terry's input.
Yeah, but you took 5 hours to do that. You was nibbling away. In the end, I said, hit it with a hammer. bang.
You've got Pete's problem. You've got camera pressure.
Hit it with a hammer, he says.
Camera pressure. For those on the other side of the pond, I can recommend Ronald Kane.
None whatsoever. It was Terry that insisted I whacked it with a hammer. That's what.
Yeah, you did.
He's right.
It was good though, because the chat loved it. They're not interested in just basic turning. They want to see things blow up. You know,
I can arrange that. I'll have some explosive experience.
Yeah, popping out the chuck. Anyway, right.
Thanks for that, Wayne Bigfoot.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Oh, Valerie's okay. Send her my love.
Hopefully, we'll see you at Newark, Wayne, next weekend.
Yeah, come to Newark, Wayne.
Come
and say hello.
Wayne the Bigfoot.
Yeah.
So,
lovely family.
Hopefully, we'll see you. We'll see you there next weekend. Be interested to see you there.
Are we done?
Good to see you there. Brian's not coming over. He's too mean and stuff.
No, I'm too tight. I can't.
Yeah, I told him. East Midlands Airport drops in. I'll go pick him up. You can stay at mine.
40 quid flight.
Pete's told him Bristol Airport. He'll pick him up and bring him up. So he got no excuse.
And there's pencils, Brian. There's lots of pencils.
I'm not coming. There's pencils.
Yeah, pens, pencils. Got it all there, Brian.
Not coming.
We need someone to stack them.
No, not coming. Sorry. William Kenny's just put in, and then he suggested you fix it with super glue. Yeah, right, Terry.
Yeah. Well, you made the mistake, not me.
At least holding the jam chuck.
I look forward to seeing Wayne Bigfoot. Ruth and I are coming. You and Valerie. Be great fun.
Make sure you come by
and to anybody else in the chat who is going, who not local, obviously not like Lewis or anybody like that miles away. I don't know all of you by face, but you know me, so come up and say hello. Tell me who you are. Same as Steve. Tell him who you are. Rob.
Yeah.
Brian's not going, by the way. And shake hands and we'll have a chat.
Yeah, it's a thing. Please don't think I'm ignorant if you do come up and say hello and I call you.
He's miserable, basically.
Because you say hello, Rob. I know like 50% of you, but I get so many people come up and say hello, Rob, and I go, I've no idea. So sort of introduce yourself so I know who you are. So.
Even now, I should go to Newark and I should say, hello, Rob. Put me anyway. Hello, Rob. My name's Terry. And he'll say, oh, hello, Terry. Pleased to meet you. Because he won't remember the day.
Yeah, there's a difference between forgetting and
not wanting to.
Yeah, I know all the troublemakers. I know all the
not wanting to remember.
Brilliant.
Don't forget to ask for an autograph. Yeah, everybody wants Terry's autograph.
Yeah, you can have my autograph. You can have everything except me money.
So Terry's the only person
can't have a wife
because
she
takes me money because he's far too tight with his money.
Actually, I will. This caveat, right? Today, I said to Ruth, "You want to go out for lunch?" Yes, she said. We went out for lunch, fish and chips, in a place called Downtown, which is a big sort of outlet or whatever. And I paid.
Wow. No, you didn't. I don't believe
you. Honestly, Ruth will tell you that I paid. You ask her that next time she's on. I paid. Sunday, you can ask her. Who paid for lunch today?
It must have been 2 for the price of 1.
No,
exactly.
No. I said, Darren, I'll buy you lunch.
Everything £2.50.
Pension day.
Pension day, yeah.
Right, so
that's
we're going to go.
Yeah,
it's Thursday.
Pete has just suggested before you go. Correct format for greeting Terry is tell him who you are, then tell him where he is, and his name is Terry.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll still forget you by the end of the afternoon. And I should be demonstrating, by the way, on Saturday afternoon, 2 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, no, are you? Oh, God, I'm definitely not coming then.
Quick question for you, Rob.
Oh, what's that?
Serious note, how many grains of abrasive on a 3-inch 120 grit pad?
That's easy to answer. So that
he's a bloody anorak, isn't he?
If you times 3 by 120, there's 360 by 360 on a square inch.
Square inch?
See that? Just like that.
So then you got to work it out in a 3-inch diameter.
Yeah, so 120.
So then you got to use pi r squared.
Yeah, if you line 120 of them up, they come up to 1 inch.
Oh, wow.
So do it for the square inch. Brian, I was going to explain how.
But I nearly fell asleep listening to that answer.
I was just going to say, if
Terry
anybody's having
Barton.
sleep problems, I'm quite happy to explain how they stick abrasives to a backing pad.
After my last comment, Terry Barton said black snow in Heckington tomorrow.
And Rob is seriously disappointed that nobody asked, why can you not make abrasives in different colours?
Yeah.
Why would you want to?
Different grits and different
I
colours.
get asked that question more than
It's easy.
any other
Put a
question.
number on the back.
You know what amazes me when somebody buys a pack of 50 50 mil discs, and they go, "Can you tell me what these are? Because that's not printed on the back of every single one." And I'm like, "Well, you can't print the 50
But they're in packs of that.
I know.
That.
I
You
know.
know.
Yeah.
And you think,
Yeah,
why
but if you
don't-
drop them all on the floor,
well, don't drop them on the floor. That's the answer.
Well,
isn't it?
actually, to be quite honest, if you've been turning long enough, you can pick a piece of sandpaper and say,
And touch
that's 400 grit. That's 80. That's 120. That's 180.
not everybody's invincible, Terry. You know, I've been
Oh,
turning for 100
Oh,
years.
well done, Terry. Terry's still awake. He's fell asleep through Brian's. He's still awake.
Oh, Terry,
Yeah.
well done.
well
Yeah,
done.
good lad.
The ultimate
Hey,
answer.
Robert
to
Broadwood,
how
I
do-
didn't pay it on Ruth's card. Actually, I gave Ruth my card, and I saw her tap it against the machine. I winced when she did mine.
So you didn't actually pay?
Yeah, I paid. Well, I'll give her my card.
Sorry, no. Ruth actually did the physical paying. She went and
No,
paid.
she'd always, she says, you sit down, tell me what you want, and she goes and orders it. And she went, beep, on my card. And I went, oh,
I don't know.
fine.
So now we know who wears the trousers.
Make her jump the beat, you know. Oh no, she's spending.
So
But she did come back and say we got free drinks because she had a card with a ticket on when you get free drinks. So I didn't pay for the drinks, but I paid for the meals. Nearly killed me. God, I'm gonna stay in there for 3 weeks.
So the ultimate answer of how they put abrasive on back in an even thing is static electricity.
There you go.
Shocking.
Very good, Steve.
Put on by static electricity.
Shocking.
Same as in powder coating them.
And it
That's
makes
why you
Maybe
need
better
the
for you.
body
All the
range disc
abrasives-
storage pack. There you are. That's why you
Yeah.
need the body range disc storage pack.
Well done,
the smallest and sharpest point always stands upwards.
And
That's
the other
what
thing, of course, is if you buy a pack of 5 different grits and they're all marked on the packets, when you get home, take them out, turn them over, get a felt tip pen and go 80, 40, 60, 120, 180, whatever you want. Mark them on the back.
I thought that was nice and simple. That was easy. Some people write 1, 2, 3, and 4 on them and think,
Yeah.
No. 180
confused.
grit, 120, 400, whatever it is, write it on the back. You felt
Pete's
tip
put
pen.
that on. Pete's put
Take
that
you
on.
about a
1, 2, 3,
minute.
4.
Yep, you
Put
did,
the
aye.
felt tip pen on the back. Grits 120 grit 1, 400 grit is 4, 80 grit is oops.
Yes,
80
60
grit-
grit, well,
80
we
grit
won't mention
It's
that.
0.5, yeah.
So on just
Good
quickly
for you.
before we go,
Go on,
at
then.
Newark, Rob will be doing some dodgy dealing with some under counter 860 grit sales if anybody wants them.
Yeah.
60
we know
grit,
you
60
would-
grit.
We know
60
you
grit.
wood turners like to be talking in the shadows about
Actually-
60 and 80 grit.
Actually, I might just get some 60 or 40
I
grit
need
and
some-
actually
I
do,
need some
do an
60
evening. Do an evening on making something with grits only.
Turn a bowl with grits.
Yeah. Well, probably won't be able to hog the middle out with it, but or the
Dunno.
corners.
I'll get you some- Terry, I can get you some 24 grit.
That'd be good, wouldn't it? Just wrap it around a chisel and turn it.
Yeah.
One of those lapping
Wrap it
discs.
around a wooden pole and just turn it.
You've
you
got
got-
the
if you got-
production turn in. You don't need to texture it afterwards. It already comes textured. when you
Already
finish.
comes textured. Yeah.
If you had one of those lapping discs like we was talking about earlier, a low
Mm.
grit in your drill, you could just hollow it out with that.
Might make a bit of
Actually, when you
sense,
think about it, if you had some 20 grit,
24
Right.
grit.
24
Yeah.
grit, and you put it on a drill, that's hell of a
Mhm.
texturing material, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bring me a little
Bottom
sample
to the
if you find some, just a little sample so I can try it as a texturing tool.
Yeah. I'll get. We don't do it in discs or sheets. We do it in,
Or,
only
you
in
know,
belts. I'll get you a
okay, just a
belt and you can
piece.
cut it up to do what you want.
Yeah.
with it.
Just to see if it works on
Yeah.
texturing.
Yeah, that would
If it's not-
reprofile your tools pretty quick, wouldn't it?
Hope that's not a thin wall bowl you're going to do it on.
No, but I'll have a go. I'll have a go on Sunday Live, and
Yeah.
one day, and just see what the texture comes out like.
Yeah.
Whether you spin it backwards or forwards or whatever.
Yeah.
Might be the same. If you spin
That
it
might
backwards or
work.
All
forwards.
your bowl out
Still
and
be
texture it
radial
all
marks.
in one pass.
Then you can
This is-
then you can fill that then with like, embellishing waxes or anything, couldn't you?
This is went completely.
You need a
crazy.
deep. You'll need a lot of embellishing wax at 24 grit.
It's worth a try.
Be like gravel
Process.
rush. Might as well turn up behind your car.
Of course.
That
Like
could be a club.
hedgehog.
That could be one of my club demonstrations, couldn't it?
If you
Okay,
imagine
Tom,
the
no,
size
we're
of the
live.
thing, you've only got to line 24 of those up to make an inch. That's how big they are.
That'd be good for thread chasing.
Yeah.
You
I'm
wouldn't be
gonna
allowed to
Fred
do that
chase-
in the club, Terry.
I'm going to
24
for
grid
Jason's
Fred
bowl. There you go.
Instead of taking the chaser, just get a bit of quick, go zip. Well, there you go. Look, the zip. There you go. Actually, brilliant.
Right, we're going to go. Right, guys. So
okay, everybody.
if you go into Newark next week, hope to see you there.
all.
That'd be good to see
If
you
you
there.
go to New York next week, I won't see you. Bye.
And Ruth's going, everybody. Ruth's going. So she'd love to meet you all. That hasn't you haven't met yet.
So other than that, have a great week. Thanks to Rob for coming in. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah,
Thanks,
no
Terry.
worries.
Appreciate you guys
Anytime.
coming in. It's been a good evening, as always. I did have a question, but I'm going to save it for next month.
Yeah.
I'll
So
think
I'll
of one
think
for
of
next
another
month.
Yeah,
I'll think of
I'm
a
sure you will, Brian. You'll be forgot by tomorrow.
Me and Rob supplied the
Okay.
questions. That's fine. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
You know.
All
So
right.
anyway, guys, thank you very much for coming
Thank you,
over.
Robert.
There will be no live next Friday night
No, because
because obviously I will be at
be
Newark.
at Newark.
So
There will be a live Sunday evening from me, and that'll be a debrief of what happened at Newark. Obviously, you'll tell me.
I may do a live. Actually, I might
Sunday
do
lunchtime?
something
From Newark.
I might do something from Newark if we get
From
time.
Newark.
If we've got
Yeah.
time. But
I think you
we'll
should.
see. We'll see what happens. Anyway,
I think
guys,
you
have a
should
great
show us
week.
all the prototypes from Newark.
Don't forget the AWGB stand is on stand 23. Steve's stand is stand number
72.
72.
71.
Oh, 71.
71. Sorry.
Okay.
71.
Oh my. So you just promote record pass. Fine, Rob.
Yeah.
71. Just stop me as I walk by and say, this one.
You won't miss
I
it. We've got
won't-
a 6 foot by 4 foot banner on the side. You won't miss it.
You probably won't see me on the AWGB stand because we have got 2 people running that, although I will be there some part of the day, of course. But on Saturday afternoon from 2:30 onwards, I will be demonstrating on the Lessingham wood turning stand, and I'll be there for an hour and a half.
Lincolnshire Woodturners Association.
Lincolnshire wood turners. 2:30. I'll be demonstrating. Bring yourself along. Ask me to make you something, I will.
Right, guys.
There you go.
Right. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.
Bye bye, everybody. Thanks for coming in.
Bye,
See you soon.
everybody.